Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the final game of this three-game series, the rubber match. We got the Phillies and Braves, and leading off for the Philadelphia Phillies, playing center field is Dykstra, batting second, playing second, Utley, batting third, playing third is Smith, batting fourth, playing first base is Howard, batting fifth, playing left field is Zazinski, batting sixth, playing right field is Hayes, batting seventh and doing the catching is Dalton. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Bella, and on the mound, batting ninth is Jim Bunning. Now for the hometown Atlanta Braves, got leading off, playing left field is Gar. Batting second, playing second is Fakal. Batting third, playing third is Jones. Batting fourth, playing right field is Aaron. Batting fifth, playing center field is Acuna. Batting sixth, doing the catching is McCann. Batting seventh, playing first base is McGriff. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Blauser. Batting ninth and doing the pitching is John SMOLTZ. Let's get down here to Atlanta and get this game started. And to lead it off for the Phillies is Len Dykstra, batting 214 with no homers and an RBI. And John Smoltz, this is his 1996 season. He was 24-8 with a 2.94 ERA. And here's the pitch to Dykstra. And that's going to be against the righty of 14, and that's going to be an infield hit. Dykstra gets aboard here, lays down a nice little bunt down the third baseline, and he's aboard. So Dykstra's down at first now with nobody out. And up to the place is Chase Utley, batting 250, no homers and an RBI. And that's going to be a 15, and that's going to be a fly ball out to Gar in left field for out number one. And up to the plate now is Mike Smith. And Smith is batting 267, no homers and one RBI. And that homer's just probably going to change, folks, because he launches this one. That ball is high. That ball is far. And Mike Smith with his first homer of the season and his second and third RBIs makes it a 2-0 ball game. And John Smoltz gives up the gopher ball to Michael Jack Smith. Now Ryan Howard steps to the plate, batting a .182. He's got a homer and two RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. So John bounces back from the homer, strikes out Howard to get the second out. The old Smitty's right, Ken. First homer of the year. These Phillies look like their bats are starting to heat up. Lazinski comes to the plate, batting 250 with a homer and three RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. And Aaron goes back, makes the catch. And that's the third out. But the Mike Smith two-run homer gives the Phillies 2 runs in the first. The Braves coming to bat with Gar for Call and Jones. This is Jim Bunning's first appearance of the year. And let's see, in 1966, he was 19-14 with one save and a 2.41 ERA. And Ralph is batting 333, no homers and an RBI. And he gets a hold of this one off of Bunning. Let's see where this one's going to end up at. And that is going to be a double in the right field. So Carr keeps the hitting going. A lead-off double to start the game. See the team replay comparisons. The Phillies are 1-3. They've scored 15 runs on 2 homers, stolen 3 bases, and been caught twice. Braves are 2-2, 21 runs on 16 homers, 1 stolen base, and have been caught once. And Rafael Facal's up batting a .125 with no homers and no RBIs. Runner down at second with nobody out. Can the Braves get on the scoreboard here in the first? And all of us, this might not be a pitching duel because he squares this one up against Bunning. All right, Ken. You have a good day, buddy. Ken says he's got to go out on business here. Yeah, go Phillies for you, bud. You know I'm rooting for the Braves, but I hear you. And here's the see where this ball lands at. And that's going to be a double in the left field. And just like that, the Braves get on the board, cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. Still nobody out. And Mr. Jones comes to the plate. He's off to a slow start batting. 083, no homers and 1 RBI. Here's the pitch to Skipper. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, and his struggles continue. That's the first out of this inning here, folks. Now you got Aaron up. And Aaron's batting 273 with 3 homers and 5 RBIs. See if Hank can drive in Raphael and tie this game up. No, Bunning walks. He might not have been a bad play there to walk Aaron. That sets up the double play. Now you got Acuna up with first and second and 1 down. And he's batting 250 with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on him. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And he gets a hold of this. And the Braves are coming out swinging today, folks. And that's going to be a home run. Kiss it goodbye. Acuna with his first home run of the year. And that gives the Braves a 4-2 lead. And this ain't going to be no pitching duel, it looks like. 3-run shot by Acuna on the 2-0 pitch. And now there's nobody on and 1 out for Brian McCann. And he's hitting 286, off to a good start with no homers and no RBIs. And that's a base on ball. And Bunning's struggling here in the first. They go out and talk to him, and up to the plate comes the crime dog, Fred McGriff. He's off to a slow start, batting $167, no homers and an RBI. And I said that one's crushed. That ball is back, and that ball, kiss it goodbye. Home run, Fred McGriff. And the Braves are having batting practice against Bunning, and that now is a 6-2 lead. Now it'll get the bullpen up for the Phillies. Old Jack will get up. Darn. I hate to get to the bullpen right away, but that's a 6-run first inning. And here comes Blauser. And Blauser's batting 267 with 2 homers and 6 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Blauser out for out number 2. And 9 men are coming to the plate here at least as John SMOLTZ comes up. And in 1996, he batted 218 with a homer and 12 RBIs. So John's no slouch here, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down the boa. He fires over to first. That'll end the inning. But the Braves put a 6 spot on the board, and it's 6-2 Atlanta. And the Braves send 9 batters to the plate. Now down by 4 here in the top of the second. Hayes, Dalton, and Boa. Vaughn's batting 222, no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. And now John's walking, guys, with a 4-run lead. I don't think this is going to be a pitching duel here today, folks. I think this is going to be a slugfest. Von Hayes down at first. Dalton at the plate batting $143, off to a slow start with no homers and an RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Ralph and left for out number 1. That brings up Larry Boa now. And let's see here. 26. 52 or lower. Vaughn's going to try to get in scoring position here with a stolen base. 52 or lower, he's safe. And they throw him out. Brian McCann throws out Vaughn. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Larry. So not what the Phillies wanted to see there. Von Hayes gets thrown out by Brian McCann. Larry's up batting .091, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron. That'll end the inning. The Phillies go down Still 6-2 Atlanta here in the bottom of the second. And again, the top of the order back up already. Ralph started this game off with a double and came around the score in the first. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Jim Bunning, he's going to have a short life here in this game, it looks like. Guard down at first, already a 4-run lead. Rafael Gall, he doubled and drove in a run and came in to score in the first. Ralph down there at first. And that's going to be 16. And that's going to be an infield hit. Rafael is on. And all of a sudden, the first two batters are on base again, folks. So first and second and nobody out. And that brings up Chipper Jones. And Chipper, he struck out his first time against Jim. And that's going to be a 39. Catcher, 65. That's going to be a rare play. First and second, 39. First and second here. And we'll have to re-roll some dice. A 32 and a 39. That'll be hit back to the mound. Jim's a 2. And that'll be a single through the box. Runners advance 2 bases. So that's going to drive in a run. Chipper Jones with an RBI single. And that's going to be it for Bunning. Now we got runners on first and third, and still nobody out. Jim Bunning can't get out of the second inning, folks. And the Braves are up 7-0. And the Phillies are just looking for an out here. Jack's going to come in the game. So Jack Bolshin's going to come in the game here. Try to stop the bleeding here. And this is Jack's second appearance. He's got no record, now 4.5 ERA. Again, the Phillies are going to play the infield back. Look for a double play. Just trying to get some outs. Already down 7-2. Hank Aaron's up now. He walked and came around the score in the first. And that's going to be well hit. And that's just a hit and fast. This is batting practice for the Braves, folks. And that ball is smacked in the center field. And that's a ball over Lenny Dykstra's head. And I think with nobody out, Jones is going to stop at third. He's going to stop at third. 56, let's see. He might not. 56. Dykstra doesn't have that great of an arm out there. Average at best. And he's going to score. Jones is going to score with no throw. So that's a 2 RBI double. 2 RBI double for Aaron. And this game is out of hand early, folks. It is now 9-2. And you got Aaron down at second. Still nobody out. And Acuna, who homered back in the first, a 3-run shot to give the Braves at the time a 4-2 lead. Acuna now at the plate. And that's going to be a foul ball in the foul territory. And it's going to be popped up down the third base near the stands. Larry Boa goes over in foul territory, makes the catch for out number 1, folks. Brian McCann comes to the plate now. And Brian walked and came around the score back in the first. And that's going to be a tailor-made, well, I need a runner first. That's just going to be a pop-up down the short. Bowen makes the catch for out number 2. Here comes the crime dog, Fred McGriff. And he homered a 2-run shot back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And Chase will throw over to Howard. And that'll finally end the inning. But the Braves score 3 more runs. Make this a 9-2 ball game. We go to the top of the third. Jack will come to the plate. And in 1963, he was 0 for 20, folks. Didn't have a base hit in 63. Here's Jack. Need him to get some innings in. That's going to be a swing and a miss. SMOLTZ strikes him out for out number 1. We're back to the top of the order, and Lenny Dykstra. And I think he started this game off with a single and came around the score to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead way back in the first. Here's the pitch to Dykstra. And that's going to be a base on balls. So SMOLTZ walks Dykstra. He's down at first for Chase Utley. And Utley flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. What the heck's going on with SMOLTZ? He walks a guy. Now he's hit a guy. So another runner on when you got a 7-run lead. You don't need this. 1 out now. And Smith's up. And Michael Jack Smith had a 2-run homer back in the first. 1 swing in the bat here, and he can get him back in the game. Here's the pitch to Mike. His first homer was back there, and that's going to be a ground ball. 35 and a 4. 35 and a 4. That's fielding column 1. And that's going to be the old 3-6-3 double play. And that's going to end the inning, folks. Nice job by Fred McGriff to start the double play. And Phillies lead 1 on. It's still 9-2. SMOLTZ gets out of that mess with nobody scoring. To the bottom of the third we go. The bottom part of the order. Blauser, SMOLTZ, and then back to Ralph. Jeff's 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Hayes for out number 1. And SMOLTZ comes to the plate, working with a 7-run lead. He grounded out to short his first time up. And not this time. That's going to be against the left, against the righty. It's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Dykstra takes a base hit away from SMOLTZ. He chases it down for out number 2. And back to the top of the order, and Ralph is 2 for 2. He's doubled and singled and came around the score both times. And this will be the first time they get him out. Jack strikes him out, and the Braves go down in order here in the third. To the top of the fourth we go. Howard, Lazinski, and Hayes do up here. Ryan Howard struck out in the first. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SMOLTZ gets him here to start off the fourth for out number 1. Here comes the bull, Greg Lazinski. And he flew out to Aaron back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Raphael throws over to the crime dog for out number 2. And now Von Hayes is up. He walked and got thrown out trying to steal back in the second. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron. And that'll end the inning. And the Phillies go down in order. To the bottom of the fourth we go. For call, Jones and Aaron do up here. And Raphael is 2 for 2. He's got an RBI double. Singled in the second came around. 4. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart, Utley, at second for out number 1. And you can see the team comparisons here. The Phillies record is 1-3, batting .189 with a .310 on base percentage, slugging .317 and an OPS of .627. The Braves are 2-2 with an average of .201, on base percentage of .280, only slugging .190 and an OPS of .470. And Chipper's up now. He's 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the second. And that's going to be a Ground ball down to Howard. He'll take it himself for out number 2. And here comes Hank Aaron up now. And Aaron is 1 for 1. He had an RBI double back in the second, walked and scored in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Utley. And the Braves go down in order. 1, 2, 3. To the top of the 5th we go. And you got Dalton, Boa, and Jack may stay in the game. They need somebody to eat up some innings here. See the Phillies' upcoming schedule. They leave Atlanta and go home to take on the Florida Marlins for 2 games. Then the Braves come to town after that. And Dalton is 0 for 1. He flew out the left back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. And McCann makes a nice play. Fires over to first for out number 1. And Larry Boa comes to the plate now. And Boa's 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Larry gets on at first. And they're going to let Jack in the game. Like I say, they need somebody to eat up some innings here. Jack's going to try to lay down a bunt. He struck out back in the third. And Mouse in the house is here. I got a forget what version of it is. It's a let's see here. Give me a second. I'll be able to tell you here. Give me a second here. It's a C92 Pro Stream camera. Yeah, it only cost me like $40 on Amazon. Not expensive at all, bud. And here, Jack going to try to lay down the bunt, and that's going to be 2 strikes on him. He misses both attempts to bunt. They're going to keep the bunt sign on that. And that's going to be fouled off, and he's going to strike out. Can't get the bunt down. Cannot get the bunt down. So now there's 2 outs. Runner still at first for Lenny Dykstra. And Lenny is 1 for 1. He is single, came around to score in the first and walk. Oh, you're welcome, buddy. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on Dykstra. Can he take care of this 2-0 pitch? And he walks the hard way in Apple on 2 rolls. So Dykstra's on again. So now all of a sudden the Phillies with 2 outs making some noise here. And that's going to bring up Chase Utley. Utley's 0 for 1. He did get hit by a pitch back in the third. Let's see if he makes SMOLTZ pay for that. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. And John's having trouble finding the strike zone here. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Chase. And he takes advantage of this 2-0 pitch, folks. Let's see where this is going to land up at. And that's going to be a kiss it goodbye. Chase Utley turns on this one. And that's a 3-run homer. And just like that, it is now 9-5. Dolly Parton's working 9-5, folks. And the Phillies are right back in this game. And all that coming with 2 outs. And now it's Mike Smith's up, and he had a 2-run shot back in the first. He's 1 for 2. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll end the inning, but the 3-run shot by Chase Utley gets the Phillies back in the game. It's 9-5 in the bottom of the 5th. You've got Aquino, McCann, and McGriff. The Mick boys are coming up. Aquino homered, had a 3-run shot back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Jack. He fires over to Howard for out number 1. And Brian McCann comes to the plate now. And he's 0 for 1. He did walk and came around to score back in the first. And that's going to be another grounder back to the mound and another out. So 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Here comes the crime dog, Fred McGriff. And he homered back in the first, a 2-run shot. He's 1 for 2. And he nails this one, folks. How far is this one going to go? That ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. Home run, Fred McGriff. And He's having a hell of a ball game here, folks. His first and second homers of the season. That'll be RBI number 4, and that makes it a 10-5 good buddy. That brings up Jeff Blauser now. He's 0 for 2. Struck out and flied out. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. He strikes Blauser out to end the inning. But the solo shot by McGriff gives the Braves a 5-run lead going to the top of the 6th. We got Howard, Lazinski, and Hayes due up here against John. Ryan's 0 for 2. He struck out both times against SMOLTZ. Can you give him the old hat trick here? And that's just going to be a weak grounder down in the first. McGriff takes it, calls off SMOLTZ, touches the bag for out number 1. And the bull comes up. Greg's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SMOLTZ strikes out Lazinski. That's his 5th strikeout of the game to go with his 4 walks. Von Hayes is up now, and he's walked and flown out 0 for 1. And that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. And we're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's still a 10-5 ball game. And that's going to be it for Jack. Let's see here. They might do a double switch here. Holland might come in the game to eat up some innings. Let's see here. Who could they put out there in right field for Hayes? Let's see here. Bring in Bobby Apba, who's going to come in and bat in the 9 hole, play right field. And Holland will come in, and he'll bat in the 6th spot for Hayes. So Bray comes in the game. He'll bat in the 9 hole. And there we go. So Brayu comes in the game with the double switch. He'll be playing right. And this is Holland's 2nd appearance. He's got no record and no ERA. See if he can eat up some innings here. He'll be facing SMOLTZ and then the top of the order and Gar and Raphael for call. And John's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be against the lefty. That's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Dykstra makes the catch for out number 1. And again, another nice play out there. Lenny's taking 2 base hits away from John. Ralph's up. He's having a hell of a game. He's 2 for 3 with a double and came around the score, singled in the 2nd. He's got that batting average up to .417 on the year. Here's the pitch to Ralph. And that's going to be against the lefty, 24. And that's going to be 24. That's going to be a fly ball out to Brayu. Of course, when you come in the game, the ball's got to find you. And as you can see, the team comparisons, again, the Phillies 1 and 3. They've scored 15 runs on 2 homers, stolen 3 bases, and been caught twice. Braves is 2 and 2, 21 runs, 16 homers, 1 stolen base, and been caught once. Raphael Foucault is having a good game. He's 2 for 3. He's doubled and singled, came around the score, and has an RBI. And that's going to be a base hit. Maybe not. Look here. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball out to left field, and the bull takes that hit away from him. Nice play by Lazinski. Now there's 2 quick outs here. Well, that was 3. Sorry about that. And now we go to the top of the 7th. Dalton, Boa, and Abreu do up here. Dalton's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SMOLTZ strikes him out. That's SMOLTZ, 7 strikeout. He's starting to rack up the strikeouts here with a 5-run lead. Now he's got Larry Boas 0 for 1. He walked back in the 5th. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. And if I believe that's 4 strikeouts in a row, let's take a look at the scorecard here. I think SMOLTZ's got 4 strikeouts in a row. Yep, that is his 4th strikeout in a row. Can he strike out Abreu for the side and get his 5th? Abreu's hitting .500 on the year, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Aaron makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 10-5 ball game. You got the big boys due up here. 3, 4, 5 hitters. Jones, Aaron, and Acuna against Holland here in the 7th. And Chipper's 1 for 3. He has an RBI single back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Boa. He fires across the diamond for out number 1. And here comes Hank Aaron up now. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the 2nd. He's walked in the 1st. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Aaron's up board again here with a 1-out single. And that brings up Acuna. And he is 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer back in the 1st. And that's going to be a pop up down the 3rd. Mike Smith makes the catch for out number 2. And here comes Brian McCann now. And Brian's one of the few Braves probably without a base hit. He's 0 for 2. He did walk in the 1st and came around to score. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 1st. Howard's going to take it himself. And that'll end the inning, folks. And now we go to the top of the 8th. You got the top of the order due up here. Dykstra, Utley, and Smith. And Lenny is 1 for 1. He's walked twice and came around to score twice. And here's the pitch to Dykstra. And that's going to be a base on balls. And that might get the bullpen up here for the Braves with a 5-run lead. And that'll bring up Chase Utley now. He's 1 for 2 with a solo homer back in the 5th after he got hit. He made him pay for hitting him there in the 3rd. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And nice play down there by by Blauser. Jeff's up with it. Only play's going to be over to 1st. The runner will get down to 2nd. They get the out. And that brings up Michael Jack Smith. He's already homered in this game. He's 1 for 3, a 2-run shot back in the 1st. And that's going to be a base on balls. Might not be a bad play there. The walking sets up the double play. Howard's not very fleet of foot. You get a ground ball, you should be able to double him up. Howard's 0 for 3. He struck out twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a against the righty. Yeah, 13. And that is going to be a base hit in the left field. That's going to load the bases up. So that loads the bases up. Let's see here if they're going to take SMOLTZ out of the game with bases loaded. He's due up 3rd. And I think they're going to do a double switch here. So that's going to be it for him. Let's see here. Who we got up here? We got the righties due up. So Rick Camp. Do we just let Rick Camp come in and try to get through this inning? Now I think Greg's going to come in the game. They're going to do a double switch here. They're going to take out. Craig's going to come in and bat in 7 spot. And Lopez will come in and bat in the 9 spot. So SMOLTZ can't get out of the 8th inning here. It's a 10-5 ball game. They could get right back in this game, so that's going to be it for him. So we'll do the old double switch here. So we'll have Craig come in. He'll bat in the 6th spot. And Lopez will come in the game. He'll bat in the 9 spot and catch. All right. Now you got bases loaded, nowhere to put them. And the bull's up. He's 0 for 3. He has flown out, grounded out, and struck out. Braves are like a double play ball here. And that might be what they get. A 52 and a 2. That's going to be fielding column 2. And that's going to be the 1-2 put out. So Craig comes home with it. Now you got bases loaded and 2 down here. The 1-2 put out, fielder's choice. And that'll be it for Holland. Let's see who's going to come off the bench here. The pitch hit. They got all the righties is on the bench. They don't got a single lefty on the bench. They got the switch hitting Jimmy Rollins. That's who's going to come out. Jimmy Rollins is going to come out of the dugout and pitch hit here for Holland. He'll bat from the left side here. Jimmy's batting a .167 with no homers and no RBIs. Bases full of Phillies. Smith at third, Howard at second, Lozinski at first, Jimmy at the plate, and here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And he'll fire over to first. Blauser will, and that'll end the inning. And the Braves get out of this with no run scoring, folks. The Phillies leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still a 10-5 ball game. See who's going to come out here and pitch for the Phillies here. Well, you got the lefties, a lefty and 2 righties due up here. So I think Bedrock's going to come out and pitch here. So Bedrock will come out and he'll be batting in the 6th spot. So this is Bedrock's 2nd appearance. No record and no ERA for Bedrock. He'll be facing the crime dog, Blauser and Lopez. McGriff is 2 for 3 with 2 homers in the game, folks. He's got a 2-run shot in the 1st and a solo shot in the 5th. And that's going to be a deep fly ball. Lozinski back near the wall makes the catch. He just missed going 3 homers in the game. Greg makes the catch for out number 1. Crime Dog chased that one a ways, but couldn't get her. Here comes Jeff Blauser. He's 0 for 3 today. Struck out twice and flew out the right. Can Bedrock give his former teammate the hat trick? And that's going to be a pop-up down the short for out number 2. And Javier Lopez comes up. His first plate appearance of the game. Came in on that double switch. He's batting .250 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be against the righty, 18. That's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Dykstra makes the catch for out number 3. That'll be it for the Braves here in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. They're going to take Raphael out of the game. And Ozzy's going to come in to shore up the defense. So Ozzy will come out. And Alu's going to come off the bench and play left field to shore up left field. So they're going to tighten up the defense a little bit here. So Ozzy comes in. We'll bat in the 2 spot for call. And Lou will come in, and he'll be the leadoff batter for Ralph. And he'll play left field. So some defensive moves here for the Braves. So Lou out and left. Albie's down at second, and you got the bottom third of the lineup, Dalton, Boa, and Abreu do up here. Darren's 0 for 3. He's flown out, grounded out, and struck out. And that's going to be a rare play. Let's see here. 26 and 38. 26 and 38 is going to be a foul ball, strike 1 on Dalton. So now the 0-1 pitch. And he gets a hold of this one, Dalton does. Drives that ball in the right field. That's going to be a leadoff double. Dalton's aboard here with a leadoff double. And that brings Larry Boa up to the plate. And Larry's 0 for 2. He has walked, struck out, and flown out. And that's going to be against the righty at 25 and 11. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And Dalton's going to stop at third with his speed and nobody out. So now we got runners on the corner. Still nobody out here in the 9th. First and third. Bobby Abreu came in the game. He's 0 for 1. He flew out the right back in the 7th. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. How far is this one going to go? And that ball just missed being a homer. That's going to be a double in the deep center field. As he can't quite hit the sweet spot. Craig is in trouble here in the 9th. That's going to be a 56. I think that's going to be a 2 RBI double. Yeah, that's a 2 RBI double by Abreu, and there's still nobody out here in the 9th inning. So runner down at second, Lenny Dykstra up, and all of a sudden now it's a 10-7 ball game. Craig is having trouble here. Lenny Dykstra comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He's walked 3 times, singled back in the first, and came around to score. And that's going to be against the righty, 23 and then 8. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And the runner's going to get down the third with 1 out. Now Chase Utley's up. The Braves obviously with a 3-run lead playing for the out. Utley's 1 for 3. He homered back in the 5th, a 3-run shot. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And Abreu might score on this. Let's see here. We need to roll another die. That'll be a 56. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly by Chase Utley. And all of a sudden now it's a 2-run ball game, folks. These Phillies ain't going away. So now there's nobody on, and Michael Jack Smith up, and he homered back in the first. He's 1 for 3. And that's going to be it. That's a deep fly ball. A lose out there. He tracks it down. And that'll end the ball game, folks. The Braves hold on to win this 10-8. Phillies made a run there in the 9th. Let's take a look here at the box score. These bullpens for both of these teams have been struggling. So the Phillies 8 runs on 7 hits and no errors. The Braves 10 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Nobody for the Phillies had more than 1 hit. They were 4 for 8, though, with runners in scoring position. Chase Utley and Smith went deep on them. They only left 4 men on base. They was very productive. The Braves, how about old Ralph was 2 for 4. For Call, the top of that order, 2 for 4. You had Hank Aaron 2 for 3. The Crime Dog was 2 for 4. Braves were 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They made hay, folks. Aquino had a homer and the Crime Dog had 2. The Braves only left 2 men on base, folks. Very, very economical. Bunning, Jim only goes 1 inning. Pitched into the second, couldn't get an out in the second. 7 hits, 9 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 homers. Jack comes in, keeps it a game, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, struck out 2, gave up a homer. Holland comes in, pitches 2 innings, 1 hit, and nothing else. No runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no homers. And Bedrock, Steve Bedrosian comes in, pitches the final inning, 1 inning. Again, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no homers. John Smoltz picks up his first win, goes 7 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, walked 6, struck out 8, gave up 2 homers. Craig comes in, picks up his second save, goes an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs there in the 9th. No walks, no strikeouts. Let's take a look here at the standings and the leaderboard for the National League. Braves are now a half a game back of the Mets. The Marlins are a game and a half back. The Nationals 2 games back. And the Phillies 2.5 games back. Pirates are leading the Central by a half a game over the Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, and Astros. And the Brewers and Cardinals are a game back. And out west, the Diamondbacks are a game and a half up on the Dodgers, 2 games up on San Francisco and San Diego, and the Colorado Rockies are 3 games back. Jeff Kent's leading the league with a .714 batting average. Him and Hank's leading the league with 3 homers, and Hank Aaron now with 7 RBIs leading the National League. Of course, the ERA leaders right now are at 0. John Rocker with 2 wins, and now you got Kimbrough, Smith, and Suter with 2 saves leading the National League. Hank Aaron takes over the MVP votes over Jeff Kent, and John Rocker still leading in the Cy Young for the National League. I want to thank Mouse in the House and Ken Castro for joining us here today. And the next game on the channel is going to be the New York Yankees. And let's see who they're playing here. Be the Yankees and the A's. Let's see what the pitching matchup's going to be. It's going to be Andy Pettitte going up against Barry Zito, folks. Be the next game here on the channel. And until then, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Atlanta, hit that like button if you already have it. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Till next time, y'all have a great day and take care.